Welcome to Political Vice, providing raw political insight. Congresswoman Omar, an American disgrace. As Trump was getting bashed for comments he made about Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, the media was convincing the American public that our president was in the midst of racist attacks against a person of color. Omar was made out to look like a victim, and Trump looked like a monster on the loose. Weeks after this debacle commanded headlines, Omar is regarded as a brave victim who had the courage to stand up to POTUS. She is now recognized as an emerging star of the Democratic Party. Before I go any further, what do you think of Omar? Should she be commended for her courage? Now that I've asked that question, it's time for you to know what has not been reported in mainstream media headlines. What you're about to learn illustrates the political bias that exists within our journalism community. On average, Americans are aware of the remarks regarding Omar made by Trump, but do not know anything about Omar's past or her performance as a freshman congresswoman. In 1992, Omar came to America as a refugee from Somalia. 3 years later, in 1995, her and her family were granted permanent asylum status. After high school, she attended the University of North Dakota, in which one of her classes was the study of terrorism. In 2011, she earned a bachelor's degree majoring in political science and international studies. After school, she worked as a nutritional counselor for 3 years and then a political advisor until she was elected into the Minnesota House of Representatives in 2016. She was then elected into the US House of Representatives in 2018. Omar's actions make it abundantly clear that she has no regard for obeying laws, and without a doubt, she does support terrorism. Omar is not a victim. Instead, she is a United States Congresswoman who represents the 5th Congressional District of Minnesota. This district that she represents was identified by the FBI as having the highest rate of terrorist recruitment in the United States. As a member of the United States Congress, Omar should be taking a very strong stance in denouncing what is occurring in her district. Unfortunately, she has done the opposite by requesting a judge to show leniency for a convicted terrorist. She is empathizing and aiding the terroristic efforts in the nation's leading district for terrorism recruitment. According to KMSP-TV, Omar defended a group of Somalis who were caught attempting to cross the Mexican border with the intentions to travel to Syria and join ISIS. In 2013, Omar was arrested for trespassing and being uncooperative with law enforcement. Omar's anti-Semitic statements prompted Congress to pass a resolution banning anti-Semitism. Both Democrats and Republicans condemned her for her anti-Semitic statements. In 2013, a Somali terrorist organization bombed a mall in Kenya. 67 people were killed. Omar commented as follows: "For us, it's always, I must have not done anything. Why is it happening to me? Nobody wants to take accountability of how these are byproducts of the actions of our involvement with other people's affairs." So a group of Somali terrorists killed 67 people in Kenya, and Omar blames the United States. She is anti-America, and there is no other way of looking at it. On top of that, she did not condemn this horrific act of terrorism. In 2019, Minnesota campaign finance officials ruled that Omar had to pay back money that she had spent, which was in violation of state law. She was also fined for her actions. Despite getting married for the second time in 2018, Omar left her husband earlier this year and started an affair with Tim Minot, a political consultant in which her campaign has paid his firm over $250,000 for consulting and travel fees. Omar has refused to comment on her relationship with Minot, but was recently seen at a California restaurant holding hands with Minot. Minot has since left his wife and moved out of his marital residence. An investigation has begun regarding the $250,000 in campaign funds going to a firm owned by her current love interest. Omar's actions have crossed the line. Every American, regardless of their political beliefs, should be up in arms demanding the removal of Omar from her congressional post immediately. The mistake of electing this treasonous politician needs to be reversed. The last thing we need to occur are acts of hatred. She is an American and we should support her as a fellow citizen. However, she has proven not to be the right person for her current position as a US Congresswoman. Let's support her as an American, but oust her from her leadership role. As always, thank you for joining us at politicalvice.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next time.